used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love.
I need my lighter.
A drug that's the high and not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen? Nigga, I could kiss my rose on the grave. Ooh, more to you, the stranger it feels, yeah.
That's it.
Now that your rosebuds in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Yes, a performance. Thank you, sir.
Welcome back to, oh, poor Link. I'm sorry.
I know Link is like, what the fuck is going on over there?
I was asleep, and I feel like you have something that you need to say to me.
Bitch, how dare you?
So welcome back to the show, guys. I am Seal.
And I am Patti LaBelle, and this is The Read.
I don't even know how long we've been doing this.
It's like
at home.
We've been taping this show from home for at least a month, I think. This is our fourth week, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We smacked a month a while ago.
Yeah, this was the last thing I was leaving the house to do. And yeah, so that's it.
I don't, it feels like these Mondays just keep coming. It feels like they come faster.
Isn't that weird? I used to feel like I had a lot more time in between taping this show.
It's like, what? Okay, but
time is so fucked up right now.
Here we are again with our regular read programming. First up, our Black Excellence is going to Vanessa Braxton, founder of Black Mama Vodka, the first Black woman distiller, master blender, and operator of a nationally distributed vodka in the United States. Oh, yes. Also owner of one of the only Black-owned beverage manufacturing facilities in the world. But that is not what makes her Black and excellent today, because she bended all of that. Currently, her Black excellence stands in the fact that she has put a pause on her vodka making to shift to making hand sanitizers instead.
Yay!
In the face of this pandemic. So these hand sanitizers that she's producing in mass quantity are for healthcare workers, first responders, patients, people in the community, those of us that need it the damn most, because of course hand sanitizer is just
impossible.
Platinum at this point.
Yeah,
you know,
I made my own like a crackhead.
So, shout out to this New York native. Again, a Black woman out here.
Saving lives.
Difference.
Yep.
Saving lives.
Congrats, sis. I want to buy her vodka just because, just to support her.
I haven't even purposely ingested vodka since I was about 24.
I was going to say, it's been a couple years for me. I'm not a vodka person, but I will drink it for this lady.
Yeah, I mean, Black Mama Vodka, where can you go wrong?
It sounds like a salve.
Vodka that is made by a Black woman is probably better vodka than I've ever had in my life.
Right, probably so.
I don't know that I've ever tasted a vodka that is like, oh, girl, honey, I did this. Put a little nutmeg in there and got it just right.
Oh,
also,
shit. She sells hemp oil, too. Tea bags.
Oh, yeah. And like tea, agaves, all kinds of stuff.
Yes. Oh, this is some Fran shit over here. Oh, okay.
Get your life.
Oh, yeah. I'm finna shop. Amen.
Also, Black Excellence going to actor Niles Fitch, star of This Is Us, who is now officially Disney's first live-action Black Prince. He'll be starring in a film called Secret Society of Second-Born Royals, which is due on Disney Plus this summer. It's a sci-fi film about second-born royal kids that are awesome and have, you know, a trouble navigating the world. And
trouble growing up royal.
I'm assuming, But you could look for him playing Prince Tuma when it drops on Disney Plus in the summer. So congratulations to you, sir, and expanding your acting horizons and being a first Black.
Yes, Hollywood sounds like a show Blue Ivy would be a consultant on or something like that. Like, who are we going to bring in here to help tell the royal baby experience?
Yes. I could definitely see her in the casting room with very large shades on.
Yeah, immediately. Like,
she speaks no words. She only communicates through taps, nods, and handshakes.
Her standards are high. Yes, I'll be watching this.
Okay, well, let's move on to our pop culture segment, Hot Tops, How I Met Your Bottom, aka The Dark Bottom Rises, a novel by Kid Fury, due in the fall.
A Dark Bottom Rises. Oh God.
So first up, I actually wanted to talk about this last week, but I forgot to bring it up. Actress Trina McGee, who played Angela on Boy Meets World, way back when Boy Meets World was still airing.
Yeah.
She was, I guess, a part of this thread where people were talking about negative experiences they had with celebrities or whatnot. And she talked about how I don't think many celebrities themselves were part of this thread. But
right.
She talked about working on the set of Boy Meets World and tweeted that she was called Aunt Jemima on set during hair and makeup. She was referred to as a bitter bitch during rehearsal. Just spoken to negatively. She said that she would greet people with happy hellos and be meted with blank stares. She said, quote, she was dissed for believing in God in front of extras. Fuckery was real, all truth. What? Was all part of her tweets. And so she came forward and spoke about this and said that this was directed from the three lead or main characters of the show. And that would be Ben Savage, who played Corey, Daniel Fischel, who played Topanga, and Will Friedle, who played Eric. Someone asked her, right. So,
oh my God.
Someone asked her, someone was like, not Ryder, please, not Ryder Strong, anything with that. Ryder, who played Sean, and that was like her love interest on the show. And she said it wasn't him. But yeah, basically that they were very ignorant.
Wow,
and,
man.
You know, people wanted for these actors to speak up about it and things like that. And the only person that she said actually issued an apology to her was Will Friedle. She posted on Instagram that he had apologized to her 22 years ago. And he also wrote another apology to her in a 3-page letter a few days after this happened. After this recent thing.
Another one. Wow.
Yeah. And he was in her comments I love you, Trina, and all of that stuff. So Eric was like, look, I was dumb. I was ignorant as fuck in my early 20s.
Both of us.
And that's can we pause for a second and ask why they made Eric stupid? That was always really a curiosity of mine when I was young, because early seasons of Boy Meets World, Eric was not smart, but he wasn't an idiot.
Right.
And then by the time they got toward the end of the lifetime of Boy Meets World, he was a flat out dumbass.
Yeah.
And slightly insane.
I don't know why that happened, but I do know it's a common character on basically every sitcom I can think of. There's one character who is just the absolute dumbass. And so maybe they were we got to compete with all these other shows that have one super annoying, stupid motherfucker. I don't know, but Eric turned
Frozen
into
Island.
It was girl, what is happening with this motherfucker?
Waldo, Geraldo, Faldo. You're so right. Every sitcom has the one that's an idiot.
Yeah, even the modern ones, they might not be as dumb, but Jack on Blackish.
Yeah.
It is a recurring joke that boy is just not gonna do well.
Girl, when Diane had to make sure that he didn't have no nails in his sandwiches. She looked at him why the fuck is there a nail in there? What is wrong with you? Anyways.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So yeah, she spoke about like the negative experience very openly about it, and like not only the past experiences that she was having with them, but the fact that it's currently apparently affecting her bag, because she had like a very small role on the reboot Girl Meets World. But she basically is implying that they are standing in the way of her doing more, I guess, with that and shit like that. So,
with her being on the reboot.
Yeah, I guess because they don't vibe with her, or
they're just fucking racist. That's blowing my. I mean, it really shouldn't surprise me because white, but I don't know why I thought Topanga was better than this. Maybe because she thick.
I have a Topanga t-shirt. Like, I have a Topanga t-shirt. It's one of my favorite. Niggas love Topanga. Like, especially straight niggas. But even me myself was like, look at this pretty white girl with this frizzy ass hair that's telling all these boys how stupid they are.
Yeah.
And is like likely to do way better in life than them and all that kind of shit. Like, I love Topanga. So that's really, really fucking disappointing. And I also loved the character Angela and how she didn't feel like a token character, even though she kind of was. I mean, by technicality, but like she was a character with depth. She was incredibly smart. She wasn't like stereotypical. And her arc being the love interest of Sean, who was my favorite character on the goddamn show, because Sean had seen some shit. Sean
was from the dark side, okay?
Like, that nigga had been through it all.
Rough.
So,
Daddy drove motorcycles.
Like, so I really enjoyed that character, and to think however long afterwards that the show I actually really, really loved as a kid and still today, that these people not like, and it's the thing, like, right, if you're in your early 20s, you white, you know what I'm saying? And like, you're on a successful TV show or whatever, it wouldn't surprise me in the 90s, 80s, whatever the fuck today, that you and your privilege and your whiteness doesn't allow you to realize that you're an asshole and a racist. But you have a situation like Will Friedle, who apparently has acknowledged that and has tried to make amends for it. And people that she has named who are not acknowledging it at all, who, like, you have to know that this is being talked about. Right. So to just basically be like, fuck that, when you could just be like, you know what? I too was dumb and ignorant and said some fuck shit that I shouldn't have said when I was 20. I'm so sorry about it. It's really disappointing.
It is. Like, I mean, so if she said it was the three main actors, and we already know that Will Friedle apologized, that means that Ben Savage and old girl who played Topanga, Danielle, that means that they are just like fully fine with the racist shit they said and do, like, and continue to perpetuate. It's like they probably even now are not scared that she said nothing about it on Twitter, because
they don't feel shit about it.
They are not. Oh wow, that is just. Oh
it's
no,
just annoying.
I try not to like white people, but that's disappointing. It really is. I used to love that show.
We be sitting up here talking about like all the white people we stand, and then the episode come out and they're like, okay, here's when they, you know, drag this person for being black and call that person a nigger, as well as here's the Nazi tattoo they have on their neck, and like all this other shit. It's like, oh my goodness, you have to really be careful as a Negro standing white people, because you don't know what the fuck they be doing. And sometimes you won't hear about it until 20 goddamn years later. Like, oh man. But
yeah, disappointing.
That's why Ben Savage. That's why Ben Savage aged like papyrus. So
he did. He did.
I can't say the same about Danielle. She's still pretty strikingly beautiful, but whatever. Fuck that. Anyways.
Yeah.
Love to Trina McGee, and God bless you, sis. You're still fine.
I hope work picks up for her after the Rona clears.
What's next? So French Montana and Young Thug had a bit of a back and forth. Well, let's rewind a bit.
Okay.
So we came off of the Teddy Riley Babyface battle that actually seemed to work for the most part. I hear that, you know, Instagram shut you girls down because there was too many of you niggas watching.
Damn, did they really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, too many people trying to get in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Instagram literally shut them down, but I think it was just like such a thing that it was probably something going on with the server circuitry, whatever.
That's enough of that.
At the same time, you know, they were able to get through that. It seemed like a great battle. I see most people declared Babyface the winner, as I expected, but you know, Teddy Riley didn't go out like no sucker, at least not on this rematch, because we talked about the first one,
right?
But you know, now people are moving on to whatever I guess they could get next for these classic music battles. I hear that there is a Puffy Dr. Dre battle in the works.
Oh, really? That'll be interesting. So none of y'all nervous that maybe your artists are gonna be like, hey, so about my money. Like nobody's feeling a little shook. Like
Loon is gonna be like, so I hear that you played my song on Instagram. I'd love to talk about a payment plan or something that we could do.
I guess not, man. Ugh.
Well, I guess French Montana was talking to Complex, where he alleged that he might outshine Kendrick Lamar in a battle because he has more hits than Kendrick.
Who does?
French Montana said, I might outshine them, not because I'm a better rapper or whatever it is. Just I've got more hits. Okay. Kendrick Lamar got albums. He got masterpieces. But if you was to put us on a festival stage...
I'm sorry, keep going.
But if you was to put us on a festival stage, I would outshine him because I have more hits than Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. So he's saying he has more French mainstream Montana. Appeal. Okay, got it.
No, he said... that he has more hits than Kendrick Lamar. So I would like to start there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Is that called a roux in cooking? I'd like to start...
Come on, roux.
I'd like to start here if we would.
Okay.
Now, let's break down that word hits. Because I feel like hits may be subjective or maybe the definition changes depending on who you ask. It sounds like French Montana defines a hit as something that goes off in the clubs or at a festival. You know, festival doesn't even make no sense. So let's talk about clubs. Because again, I've been to Kendrick Lamar shows. I've seen French Montana shows. So if we're talking about an on-stage performance packaged with a whole treatment and everything like that, I don't know why you would think that you could contend with Kendrick Lamar on a stage anywhere. But let's just talk about like the songs themselves. Surely, if we're talking about like number of songs that make the club go up, French Montana likely does have a fighting chance with many an artist. Yeah. Because French Montana does have a lot of songs that make the club go up. However, French Montana also doesn't have many songs that make the club go up that he is the only artist on. 95% of the named songs by French Montana are features. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any like super recognizable French Montana verses. French Montana has many songs with great production where he makes a great hook, sometimes even when he is the feature. So I'm not denying that. But I think the reason that you said this specifically about Kendrick Lamar is because you know that Kendrick Lamar is like just leagues outside of you.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And so
definitely.
that is something like just brazen that you like feel like was just the thing that was going to get the girls to say, what? You know? So... that's where I think this is coming from. Right. And surely there are many people, like you could have said Yo Gotti or like
any one of them other little
Blueface.
niggas. Yep. Oh, yeah. Blueface. Jesus. I refuse to believe that's really still a thing. I refuse. It was that one song where he was chasing the beat and that was it.
Let me tell you something. She's riding that shit till the wheels fall off and she got 2 wheels left.
Well, I was going to say, have they not popped? What is going on?
Don't counter up.
Most of y'all artists cannot survive without touring. So like,
oof.
So it's got to be over soon.
Yeah. So, Young Thug was one of the many people who heard about the French Montana comments, and he got online and said, "Stupid ass niggas say he got more hits than Kendrick Lamar," and then called French Montana a fool. And then they went back and forth with their social media dissing. Young Thug threatened to leak a video by way of Meek Mill that shows French Montana getting knocked out. Allegedly, French Montana made fun of Young Thug's fashion choices as well as his financial stability.
What?
And here we are.
Oh, wow.
Y'all are so bored.
Yeah. Outside don't need to open up, but y'all got to find something to do. These celebrities need hobbies. They need hobbies that don't include the phone, because I think French Montana chose his words very carefully. And then along with that explanation, it was like, this is why I said it, so that you could kind of be like, all right, if we going off of what's going to make niggas dance, then okay, bitches are not really twerking to Kendrick Lamar. Fine. But so, okay, point there. You can have that, I guess. Yeah. I don't really, give a shit. But like you said, you brought out Kendrick because you knew would nobody care if you said it about one of them other assorted little niggas that I don't even really know like that. So what I guess I don't really understand here is why Young Thug, like, is him and Kendrick are like friends? Are they cousins? Is this... Why was he so personally offended by this to like jump in and be a part of it?
Not are they cousins?
They might be.
So French Montana got on a live with Fat Joe, who apparently has an Instagram live show now.
Oh, Christ. Jesus. What did I just say? Not on the phone. Get off the phone.
And he implied that Young Thug has issues with him anyway outside of the Kendrick Lamar thing. Because he said something to the effect of like, you're not going to call me a fool knowing it was about something else and that something that has nothing to do with me and Kendrick. So he sort of implied that Young Thug has issues with him anyway. Okay. Not clear on what those things might be per se. But I guess Kendrick Lamar, Young Thug just mirrored sentiments from many people, which is like, why are you bringing up Kendrick Lamar out of all of the people that it is that you could bring up? Right, but I think that you also bring up a fantastic point, which is just that a lot of these niggas need hobbies. Because when I watched that clip of him talking to Fat Joe, I was like, it kind of reminded me of like athletes when they do those interviews after the game and how like dumb they clearly are. Not all of them. Right. I don't want to submit stereotypes.
No, but we know what you mean.
A lot of these niggas are really stupid. And so you don't really be hearing it until you hear them like speak in lang. And I'm just like you niggas have so many things to do. You're so incredibly blessed. And you sitting up here talking about like some Instagram shit after you made a wild comment on the magazine. It's just like find something to do.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like all I could think after you said about them needing hobbies is like, is French Montana playing Animal Crossing?
Clearly not. You need to download Animal Crossing.
Like, somebody needs to buy you Animal Crossing on your Switch, French Montana, and you need to get these bells so that you can stun on the rest of the girls.
Anything. Go be a dad. He got kids, right? I'm just assuming. Go.
I'm assuming that he does.
Probably. Yes, Go. Isn't that where Kendrick is? At home with his wife and baby? Go try that.
And on the topic, French Montana also dissed Trina, and he dissed Trina for a
then he can go to hell. Oh, right.
So it's literally always eat a dick o'clock for French Montana, correct, as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.
Moving along. And when you're talking about a battle, French, go for the girls in your park. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Challenge YBN LMNOP Sally or whoever these niggas are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You challenge motherfucking Offset or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could have easily said the same thing for so many rappers that are out of your league. If we're talking about songs that are great at Bonnaroo or fucking Rolling Loud.
Come on, Bonnaroo.
So Yeah, Bonnery's the white one.
I do not know French Montana's music like that, so I can't comment to whether
French Montana has
good.
bops, but like I said, 9.5 of them out of 10 have a feature on them, and that's why it's a bop. Well, so, like, pipe down. And that's just my opinion.
The fact that he admitted that he like can't rap as well, and he was just like, Kendrick creates masterpieces. I just churn out bullshit for the club. Like, what is this? Are you proud?
Kendrick Lamar is a legitimate rap artist that actually knows how to rap and make songs and things like that. But let me tell you who shakes that ass when their song.
Let me tell you what they don't play in the strip club. Okay, nigga. That Kendrick has a Pulitzer. Leave me alone.
Right.
Leave me alone.
Kendrick Lamar would literally respond to that at home like the Squidward meme where he's sunbathing.
Right. It's just like.
Actually, I don't even have.
He probably didn't even hear about the story, honestly.
Trey Songz has a son that is now 1 year old. Very adorable baby boy.
He is so cute.
Whose name is Noah. Okay. And to bring in his year. Okay, so many people were wondering who the fuck this child's mama is. They've known about the baby for a while, and all of the what are Trey Songz stands called? Notes?
The songs Yups.
Oh, aren't they called the Yups?
I think so, for real, because that was his thing.
Let me be careful. I know a lot of y'all listen. So while you girls were breaking up with your significant others for buying Trey Songz comforters off of Etsy, he was celebrating a year for his son being here on Earth, and he also dedicated a post to the child's mom. And he captioned it, "I'm obsessed. We did that. You did that." The you in all caps, recognizing that she actually carried and gave birth to him. "You're a great mother, and you deal with all the extras very gracefully. I'll always be eternally grateful to you, Noah's mama." And he posted her here, them looking like a happy ass family that met on Christian Mingle. The baby is so cute.
He's adorable.
And honestly, she looks like a nice girl. You know, she looks very saved, educated. She looks like she has a job, maybe a degree in political science. But I'm judging a book by its cover. I don't know nothing about this girl.
Right.
But cute photographs. And they look like a happy, loving family. I'm sure so many relatives liked and shared these photos on Facebook. And good for them. Hope everyone is safe.
Yeah, she looks a lot more regular than I thought she would, which is not an insult at all.
It's a compliment, yeah.
She's a very pretty girl, but I expected Instagram model, long wig, nails out to the sky. I expected, a bad bitch, and I just got, she just is a regular girl, but cute. And like you said, the baby is adorable. They make a really cute family. You could tell the quarantine is hitting that nigga kind of hard, but congrats to them. I hope she gives
you Aisha Teagan.
Yes. Her name is Aisha Teagan. She's really cute. But I noticed in that message that he made sure to call her Noah's mom and not his girlfriend or fiance or whatever. Like he kind of made the focus the baby, which is fine. But like I don't think I would take this family picture as like proof that they're in a relationship. Or maybe he did that on purpose to throw them crazy ass fans off.
Oh, I didn't. I fully, first of all, respect the fact that this baby is a year old before we even know what his mama looked like. I'm all about niggas being private, especially when it comes to the matter of their family and children and stuff like that. But I didn't really take it necessarily as they're in a relationship. It was just like he's finally, sharing who the child's mom is, because from the moment that he revealed that he was dad, the stands were like, who
the bitch?
in the fuck disrespected our union like this, Tremaine. So,
and it's like, girl, it was him. He disrespected the fake union that you had with him for his real one with this woman. And that's why they have this real baby. And now you
I'm just imagining
his angry keyboard clicks.
I'm just imagining that nigga soon to be ex-girlfriend looking for this girl on Instagram and shit like that. Like, I went to this concert with no drawers on and lost my man, and this is the bitch.
Y'all gonna have to get over it. I know you're heartbroken, but it is what it is, and they look like happy parents. So
yeah, they do look like and this looks like a very happy baby. So.
Yeah, this looks like a healthy situation. So congrats to them.
This almost makes me want to have kids.
Woo! Oh no, not 3 pictures. Hell no. That ain't it.
I just got over it that fast.
Not in this fucking pandemic, nigga. You want to be trapped at home with a baby all day? Think about that.
No, listen, I just need babies around me from family and friends that I can spoil. I don't need the responsibility of actually parenting. Thank you.
Then come Goodbye. Get this. Right.
Yeah. Ariana La Mangas Grande has said that she she hasn't really said, but she's implied that she's over TikTok impersonations of her. She reposted a video from actor Jordan Firstman called My Impression of a Meme. He basically goes on this long rant about meme culture and how it like strips away the meaning and hard work of the original artist that they are memeing from or whatever. But this is apparently in response to a girl named Paige, and probably other people on TikTok. But this girl Paige specifically is very known on TikTok for doing Ariana impressions because she looks freakishly like Ariana Grande, especially with the makeup and the ponytail and shit on. Mm-hmm. So she does these like clips, I guess, where she pretends to be Ariana Grande or does jokes about her, or sometimes jokes based on clips based on the character Cat that Ariana played on Victorious, as well as Sam and Cat on Nickelodeon. And so I guess Ms. Grande is over it. Yeah, for sure. That's how I first heard of her. Because let me tell you something. I didn't watch Victorious, but I loved iCarly. iCarly was legitimate. Sam Puckett was one of the best things to happen to Nickelodeon of that era. That show was funny.
Yeah, now and I feel like that show I know, but I didn't know Ariana was on it.
No, she wasn't on that show. But it was like, I think it was produced by the same people, or a lot of the same people that did Victorious, and they aired around the same time.
Got you.
So sometimes they would be like right back to back or some shit like that or whatever. And so I had first seen her when Ariana Grande became Ariana Grande. I literally thought to myself, is that the girl from the fucking Nickelodeon? Yes. And it was, because, by that time she wasn't wearing that crazy red hair that they made her have that she says ruined her scalp or whatever. But
oh, right. Okay.
Apparently she's not a fan of the shit. And again, I'm not really surprised that she's not feeling it, because the girl looks a lot like her.
And it's got to be old at this point.
And she does it like a lot, but she doesn't just, I don't know. I guess I don't have anybody that looks just like me that is making impersonations of me and stuff like that on TikTok. I did today see someone put in my mentions a video of this white girl, Latina girl, who did a TikTok where she is lip syncing that clip where we're talking about Miami not being in Florida or whatever on the show.
Oh my God. That's
she
crazy.
Lip syncs that. And 2 seconds after I saw it and acknowledged it, a bunch of people were in my mentions. I was like, oh yeah, that's that white girl that's got caught saying the word nigga and had all of that other stuff that she was going through. And I was like, great, a joy. This makes me feel so fantastic. But at the same time, like Latinx, Miami, racism, like sounds about white. But anyway.
Well, I was checking the inbox earlier and somebody sent us a link, and apparently that audio has been used several times on TikTok. There are a lot of people on TikTok who are doing that whole lip syncing back and forth thing. To me, it is weird, but okay, young people. Because all of them, I mean, I scrolled through the people who did the video of our audio. 2 of them are maybe black. And I had to squint. All the rest of them are white. Like, what are y'all doing? Lip sync some of the other shit we've said about white people. Do that. Pick any other clip.
No shade. A lot of the people who I saw reacting to that clip, I thought to myself, like, y'all a major part of what's wrong with Miami and why it wouldn't but yeah, again, judging books by covers and things like that. But honey, if you're the type of person who is out here saying nigga no full and goddamn well that you're not nowhere near black, then yeah, you might as well just rep Florida, sis, because there's no reason for you to not.
Lip sync that.
But yeah, as far as Ariana Grande is concerned, sis, don't care. I understand that that's probably strange that this girl is pretending to be you, and you know, I guess you feel like she's perpetuating this idea that you're dumb because of clips she's using from a show where you played a dumb character, but only dumb people would think that you're dumb because of the character you played that was dumb.
Well, there are a lot of dumb people in this world too, though. You can't forget.
Yeah, but I mean,
they cuss Issa out every day for cheating on Lawrence, and it's like, do you know that that isn't me?
That's a great point. That me and that nigga are co-workers, and
this is all pretend. We're all just making pretend. None of this is real. You gotta talk to niggas like that sometime. Plus, the Ariana impressions are old. Like, we get it. An oversized sweatshirt, a ponytail. You do that little affected voice. Okay. Like, all right.
And no shade, I love an oversized sweatshirt. Like, I have been team sleeves many times in my life because it's comfortable. You know, I haven't walked out in just an oversized sweatshirt and over the knee boots, but it seems comfortable. Whatever works for you. Just don't look no donuts.
And you could.
Who's gonna stop you?
Right. I meant you could go out.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
For sure.
In a fit, a look.
So in this time that many of us are trying to get our heads together and figure out where we stand as specks on this planet, DMX has been having Bible study on his Instagram Live. He was recently live on Instagram reading from Ecclesiastic.
I know you lying.
And let me just say, it's great to see him healthy. It's great to see him using his, voice and life and things like this for positivity. It is unbearably and probably inevitably just hilarious watching him read Bible scriptures, because he's still doing it in this it's dark and hell is hot ass.
Yes, so, I was about to ask.
It's kind of like when he did, what was it, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or some shit like that. Look that up. I'm pretty sure it was Rudolph.
Okay.
He performed Rudolph at like a radio or blog or some shit like that. And it was just in his raspy ass natural voice. But DMX is anointed and he knows what he's talking about. And like I said, I'm dead serious. And like I said, I'm just glad to see him healthy. Like, I was happy to see, I don't remember what magazine I think that he did, like a photo shoot or editorial for maybe last year, but he was in rehab and he said that, Christianity has helped him sort of piece together his life and stuff like that. So I'm all for that. If it isn't attached to biblical manipulation, then brother, I'm all for it. And I'd rather this than VH1.
Yes.
Iyanla DMX that's in the middle of whatever. But
exactly.
Again, he's like very sincere with it, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, it's incredibly entertaining to get Bible study from DMX, period. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then from DMX in DMX's voice. Like, I'd buy the audiobooks. I would buy the Bible DMX version.
Yeah, somebody commission this. Get it done. I mean, good for him. A lot of people in recovery find a lot of solace in religion. So as long as you're not using it to hurt yourself or others, I say have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And good for you.
Shout out to Pastor Earl Simmons.
Nope, nobody said that.
Greater Rough Riders over Zion.
Nope, that isn't it.
Right. Speaking of churches that don't exist, Kanye West apparently had a bit of a tiff with. There's none left. There's
nothing left in this class. It's all gone. Yeah. Leave me alone.
Kanye West was apparently going back and forth with some scathing text messages sent to Forbes magazine. I'm tired. Forbes last year had Kanye on the cover of a magazine. They were talking to him about his Yeezys and Kanye Incorporated as a whole, I guess. But he was not named Billionaire, although I guess he felt he should have been. He said during an appearance at the Fast Company Innovation Festival last year that he showed Forbes an $890 million receipt. And they still didn't say billionaire. Now, I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy. So when I read this, I was like, isn't $890 million, $890 million and $1 billion is $1 billion? And
correct.
Two different things and $1 billion is more. Are they supposed to round up or?
Yeah, no, I don't think. Not when you're that far off. That's over $100 million off. So, right? If he's 890, right? You know, I'm not good at math, but that's not. Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
Right. It's okay, but did you give them a receipt for the other? And then also, like, are we supposed to care? Do you know how broke people are?
I am just saying. So,
we have real people are trying to live off $40,000 a year, and you over here crying because Forbes didn't call you a billionaire.
You know, just the girls wondering when they're gonna get another paycheck. You know, families.
When are we gonna eat? How are we gonna pay the mortgage, the rent, the bills? They'll keep the phone on, keep these kids entertained and learning. People have real problems, Kanye. I don't give a fuck that Forbes didn't call you a billionaire.
It's fine.
It's fine.
So apparently Forbes dropped their latest billionaires of the world girls.
Oh my God.
Around the world list. His youngest sister-in-law was, of course, on the list, and that just, I guess, pushed his buttons, or that's what the media is implying, because he sent a text over to Forbes, and he said, basically accused them of not knowing how to count. But
okay,
that was after actually he sent them or had someone send them whatever documentation to show that he is indeed a living Black billionaire.
This is just
now Forbes
so
says that after they got the information, they used what they call the Trump rule on the documentation that were given. The Trump rule is basically where they divide what they're given by 3, and then they refine the number from there. And that's apparently because Trump for years would go back and forth with Forbes in shady ways, trying to manipulate the way that he presented numbers to them.
Of course he did.
And so after years, like since the 80s or maybe even before, of working with him or having these kinds of conversations, talking to hundreds of people a year or over 100 people a year, they were just like, it seems like the best way for us to get accuracy is to divide the number he gives us by 3, and then we start the work.
Wow.
So they said that they did the exact same thing to him, to Mr. Kanye, and they arrived at 1.3 billion as an estimate and did this whole article that said Kanye West is officially a billionaire, which is strange to me because it's like, are you a billionaire when you have $1 billion, or are you a billionaire when Forbes says that you have $1 billion, but whatever. But he's still upset. And this is where they don't know how to count texts come in, because he says it's $3.3 billion division.
Of course he does.
And if Forbes doesn't know how to count, he alleged that they're, quote, trying to suppress his self-made narrative because of his race. And
oh my God, girl, they called you a billionaire.
Where I want to find the exact thing.
Why don't you just post all of your money on Instagram then? If you just want people to know that you're rich so bad, why don't you just do that? Why do you need Forbes to tell us?
He sent them a message.
I cannot stand Kanye West. I cannot stand him. Like, are you? I'm waiting for the real problem, and I have not heard it yet.
He sent them a text. He's
not, you can't get it out.
He said, allegedly, you know what you're doing. You're toying with me, and I'm not finna lie down and take it anymore in Jesus' name.
Wow, he is Trump. What do Jesus have to do with any of this?
You know, he's Hezekiah Walker now, so he has to be on brand.
Oh my God.
And the doll has gospel music out, so he had to make sure to add that in on the end there.
Oh no.
So, you know, I feel like you already hit the nail on the head here, which is like, sis, I care less about how many billions you have and like what you're doing with it.
Exactly.
Because the world is suffering. Between 1.3 and 3.3 billion, it's really not much of a difference to the average living human being.
There's probably 100 people in the whole world who care.
Right. The only people that would make a difference to are the tiny percentage of people that you are actually giving a fuck about, like a Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you see what the fuck them dumbasses are doing. So how many like, you're wealthy. We knew that already. Like, and you've been given the acknowledgement of being in the billions. Like, nigga, and maybe I've missed something. I don't know if Kanye has done any donation or whatever. He could also be doing that in private or whatnot. But like, I don't give a fuck.
No, I doubt it.
Of dollars you have underneath that Kardashian roof, sis. And all of this is so ridiculous. And I feel like a lot of the rhetoric from Forbes is also ridiculous, but it's Forbes. So it's like, all they do is, you know, they're dealing in like, who are some of the wealthiest people and why? And all they do is probably talk to a bunch of raging assholes. So that's like, them being shady is not shocking to me.
There is that, yeah.
You sending the girls text messages to say how many billions it is or whatever, because Stormy's mom is over here raking in the highlighter money. I'm just over it. Like, the girls are dying. Right. The girls are dying.
Literally dying. And like, I just don't. You're 1.3 or 3.3 billion. I don't give a fuck, Kanye. I cannot believe how much I can't stand this man. And no, I do not think the Trump supporter is secretly donating money to any damn body except people who will support his own like money hungry shit. Kanye don't give a fuck about nothing but status. It's clear. Because otherwise, why would you be bitching and begging for Forbes to accept you? Why would you be like pleading with these people to know you have or to acknowledge to the world how much money you have? You know what I would be doing if I had $1 billion? Hiding from niggas and enjoying my life. Period. The fuck I was just gonna say that. Please don't tell it. Please don't tell these niggas how much money I have. Please do not. Like, what? Why would you?
I can't really put myself in the mind of a billionaire.
No.
But I'd like to think that if I had over $1 billion, however, far over $1 billion, I would be too busy basking in my billion.
Yeah.
To be worried about I wouldn't want for you girls. Who needs all of those random cousins texting you and asking you for something? Like, I would be too busy laid out somewhere enjoying the fact that not only am I wealthy, but that my great grandkids will likely be wealthy. So
Or,
like,
it's just,
isn't it enough that Sam's grandkids will be fine? Isn't that the youngest one?
Like, there's just no, like, for this story, for all this to even be coming out now, it's like, are you completely incapable of reading the atmosphere? Do you know what's going on in the real world to everybody else? Like, do you know about this pandemic? Do you know people have been like waiting, checking the mail and the IRS every damn day for a $1,200 check? Do you get that? Like, that's where most Americans are right now. Do you understand?
Well, he probably figured that's probably why this sentiment was expressed through text and not through tweet. And he probably didn't, think that Forbes would just be like, yeah, so the dog has been texting us for weeks at this point, and we're over it. Like, he probably didn't expect for them to literally quote his iMessage, but yeah, I agree.
That's like, what he deserves. Sweetie, I don't care about your money, Kanye. I don't. I do not care.
Well, that's going to wrap up Hot Tops for this week. We're going to take a break, come at you with some information, and then we'll come right back. So we all have plenty of time to be doing online shopping these days. I do it quite a bit. But here's something that can make shopping online even better for you. It is Honey. Honey is a free online shopping tool that automatically finds the best promo codes and applies them to your cart. Imagine if you're shopping on one of your favorite sites, whatever it is, Best Buy, Sephora, Macy's, Target, whatever. When you check out, there's a box that drops down, and all you have to do is click apply coupons. That's it. You wait a few seconds. It scans for every promo code on the internet. Then you just watch your prices drop. That's about it. And since Honey supports over 30,000 stores online, and they're adding more each day, you're not limited with where it is that you shop. It literally is an add-on that just automatically gives you the best price they can find.
Yes, and it is the best, especially because, like you said, I've been doing more online shopping lately. And so to see that little cash back add up every single time, it's like, okay, Target, I see you, Sephora. Y'all knew I was going to come over here anyway. So let me just go on and get this back. And yes, I'll take that too. Like, it's nothing better than getting money back on stuff you was going to spend anyway. So
right.
It's like not using Honey is passing up free money. Plus, it's free to use and you can install it in just a few seconds and backed by PayPal, so you can trust it. So go ahead, sign up, get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/theread. That's joinhoney.com/theread. Let them know we sent you, and let's get back to the show.
Okay, so we're back, and it is now time for your listener letters.
It is. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. We may read them aloud on the show. Our first, let's see. Our first letter comes from Diana, who says, I'm a 25-year-old woman who lives alone, and I have been temporarily laid off because of COVID-19. It's been a month since I've been home, and since I understand the seriousness of everything going on, I've only left my apartment about twice to buy groceries. I've been feeling homesick a lot, so I've been FaceTiming and calling different family members at least once a day. I'm especially close to my 7-year-old sister who lives with her mom and my grandmother. Here's the problem. The last time I FaceTimed my little sister, she mentioned that grandma leaves the house pretty regularly. My grandmother's in her early 70s, and although she is very active and healthy, she is high risk because of her age. She recently retired after working in the medical field for the last 40 years, so I know she knows she's putting herself at risk. A few days ago, I called her, and she said she was just driving around her block to get some fresh air, but I could hear her friend in the background. The thought of anything happening to my grandmother is too much for me to handle. My sister made a joke about hiding her car keys so that she can't leave, and in my frustration, I told her to do it. So my little sister put our grandmother's keys in one of the indoor potted plants, and for the last few days, my grandma has had to stay her ass in the house finally. I don't know that. This morning, my grandma called me sounding sadder than I've ever heard her before. She said she lost her keys and she doesn't want to ask anyone to help her look for them because she recently lost the remote control for a day and she doesn't want anybody to think that she's going crazy. After our conversation, I felt so bad knowing that I'm the reason she feels this way. I called
you ought to be ashamed of your goddamn self. See how I switched on you?
Okay. I called my little sister and she told me that apparently grandma spends most of her time sitting by the window looking outside. Should I give my grandma... Okay, that is a sad visual. Should I give my grandma her keys back, knowing if she has access to gallivant on the streets that she will do it, putting herself and others at risk? Or should I leave the situation as it is, but feel like shit knowing my grandma is sad and sulking around the house and it's because of me? Any help would be great. Thanks. P.S. She is an old Jamaican woman, so simply asking her to stay home will end up with me getting cussed and told to mind my business. Well, there is that.
Well, let me tell you something. I have Jamaican grandmothers.
Yeah.
I would, in this situation, truthfully, I think I would give them the keys back, but I would also say, like, no, this is not okay. And I know that you know that this is not okay. And if you want to drive your grandchild absolutely insane and have me racked with stress and anxiety 24 hours a day, then continue to live, your social pandemic life the way that you've been living. Or if you want to do the smart, safe, responsible thing that will help your grandchild sleep better at night, you will stay your ass at the house. Yeah, I think I'd give her the keys back because I don't want to, I don't know, just absolutely shatter her soul.
Right. I wouldn't want to depress her.
I would openly at least make the effort to be like, you can't be doing this. And it is going to drive me nuts and make me really scared and anxious if you're just going to be running around in the streets like that. Like, driving the block or whatever just to be out of the house is one thing. Having your friends with you is another thing. Doing et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So...
Yeah, it just is not, I'm torn because it is really not safe for your grandma to be going outside. But if that's her house, then can't nobody stop her, no way. So, I mean, it sounds like can't nobody stop her regardless of whether it's her house or not. So, I don't know. The thought of her just being so sad and not wanting people to think that she's losing it, so she doesn't want to tell them she lost the keys, is damn, that's fucked up. Y'all should give that lady her keys.
By the window, looking outside, that is just...
that is pretty awful. Yeah. Plus, it's kind of wrong to fuck with her, emotions like that. Yeah. I think you have to appeal to her common sense maybe and just be like, you could carry it. You could pick it up from somebody. And even if you don't get sick, you could pass it to the little girl or you could pass it to mama, and somebody might have a job where they have to go out and interact with people every day. So it's just can you please just chill till the fucking pandemic settles down? Y'all, we have been at home for a month and y'all are acting that is it and ain't no more. That's not how it goes. Especially because this country is not doing enough to keep the virus from spreading even more.
Exactly.
So,
yeah,
I think I would tell the little sister, dig them keys up out the pot or whatever, but tell her to FaceTime me first before you give them back, because I just need to try to get through to her. Maybe she needs to see your crying face to understand how serious this is. It's hard for everybody, but she gonna have to FaceTime her friends or Zoom or whatever the fuck everybody else is doing. She's gonna have to figure out something else because this is not fair to the other people in her household.
Right.
Or to her family who is worried about her ass. So
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Lean on the fact that you're the grandchild and that it will absolutely destroy you. So I have to think about it or whatever. And then she's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to Popeyes. Or I don't know. Then where you stand. But yeah.
Yeah.
If she's worked in the medical field and stuff like that, then she knows what the situation is, like you said. But then some people are just probably you know what, girl, I don't give a fuck. If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, what's the difference? Some people really don't give a shit. But it's it's not just about you. So
yeah, I mean, especially if you don't live alone.
Right.
So it's really not just about girl, there's other people in this house that you could affect. And also, just because you don't really care about your life doesn't mean I don't. You might just be depressed or, dealing with whatever stress or a million other things could be going on, but that doesn't mean your life isn't actually worth something. So I'm going to still ask you to keep your ass at home Please do not get sick or get anybody else sick if you can at all help it, because the virus is nothing to play with. It does crazy shit. I saw something in the news about how a doctor was removing a blood clot and other blood clots were forming next to that bitch or something. It was like, oh, this has never happened before. What the fuck is that? Like, please don't play with this.
And again, just the more stuff like this happens, the more we cave and start, doing stuff that we're not supposed to be doing, the longer it is going to take for this to be resolved. Like,
exactly.
I just want to just say that one more again for like the 18th time. Like, you going out and being like, fuck it, because you've been out for a month is not going to make the time go ahead. But it's literally just going to make the situation worse and take longer for things to go on. Because again, don't nobody know what the fuck they're doing for the actual virus. They're literally just treating people until they can't anymore.
Lord.
So.
Yeah. So.
There's that.
I mean, all you can do is your best, but ultimately that's a grown woman and she's going to make her decisions. So.
Yep.
Best of luck to you and your family. Our next question comes from Tara, who says, I'm a 30-year-old woman and I was with my baby father for 4.5 years until his untimely death in 2018. 2 months after he died, I found out I was pregnant with his child. The birth of my daughter really gave me the strength to continue on and deal with the grief of his passing. We were off and on, but I was the main girlfriend during this time.
Oh, boy.
The fact that main girlfriend made me say, oh, fuck.
Yep. Yep.
The bullshit that's eating me up is that during our breaks, he would text with other bitches and form outside relationships. And to this day, these bitches feel the need to post about him online, and I feel it's hella disrespectful. Some of them I had beef with when he was alive. However, I am too damn grown to be trying to prove a point and start arguments. I really want to address things with him, but how can I? Obviously. So everything just turns into balled up frustration. But every time I see the shit these bitches post, it puts a bad taste in my mouth and lasts damn near all day. This shit just falls into my lap because I only have a Finsta and a Catfish Facebook. Lord God.
I was about to say, like, how do you
even see right? I'll be scrolling, minding my business, and all of a sudden one of these hoes posts about how much they miss him. I never knew him to be that close to them like that because we spent so much time with each other.
How did you?
I want to supply my daughter with good memories about her father, but I feel very resentful. I know I was the main girlfriend to his family and friends, but that don't mean shit, and I don't really know how to feel. Please help, Tara.
Tara, I'm trying to find like the kind way to say this.
Yeah, because she's hurting.
Because the first thing I thought was like, you gotta let some of that hurt go. It's like you can't. It's going to be a harder time for you to find like closure or make amends with the situation that existed between your child's father and these other girls, because he's not present and he's like really should be the key to making amends or finding closure in that situation, because he's the one who was messing with them. And like, whether you were the main girlfriend or they were side girls or knew about you or whatever the situation or beef may have been, they're allowed to miss him. He placed himself in their lives and had whatever relationship he established with them. So just because you don't like them or you felt like they shouldn't have been around your man or whatever the case is, doesn't mean that they shouldn't be permitted to grieve in whatever way it is that they see fit. If it bothers you that much, then you need to remove them from your plane of sight. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, block them, mute them, whatever. Like, I don't even know why you are willingly seeing any status update from these girls, unless y'all have like mad mutual friends or some shit, which would just be strange. But I think that you kind of have to just make peace with the fact that this man had a relationship with other people and those other people are affected by his loss as well, and focus on raising your child in the healthiest way that you possibly can. And it's not going to be healthy for you to hold on to grudges caused by him or like animosity towards him because of something that you can't even work out with him anymore because he's not here. So I would definitely recommend talking to a therapist or someone that could just help you make sense of the feelings that you have with him. I think it's going to take some work, but it's not impossible.
Right.
So you can just get to a place where you like, fuck whoever else that he was dealing with, whatever. At the end of the day, you know, he and I made an amazing person that I love very much. And my focus is that person. And I'm not going to worry about stress between, you know, me and some girls that I'm not even like, you fighting with these girls over a man that's not even here anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Even if you're not really fighting with them, like you're stressed out over whatever union that he had with these girls, and none of y'all really can see him. You know what I mean? He's not here. So it's just like, you got to just be able to move on for the health of yourself and for your child.
Right. I think it's a little bit unreasonable to expect people who didn't have nothing to do with y'all's relationship to refrain from posting stuff that you find disrespectful. Like, those girls probably don't even know you. So there is that.
Well, she said she had beef with one of them, so I'm assuming at least one of them bitches know who she is.
Okay. So I don't think they're posting this intentionally to disrespect you. They probably really do miss that nigga or miss the dick
right.
or both. So they probably really do feel that way. But even if they are posting it to disrespect you, you can always just not see they shit. Even if you have mutual friends on your Finsta or your Catfish Facebook or whatever, you can block people on them accounts as well. You don't have to see none of the shit these girls post. I think you have an issue with probably going to check they shit or seeing their name on something and clicking through and scrolling through whatever they posted or whatever. You probably have that. Or if they tagging that nigga, then you can see the tags. Whatever. There's a million different ways you could be seeing it, but you could also be taking definitive steps to make sure you never see them bitches again, and you have not done it. You need to ask yourself why. Because you could have nipped this problem in the bud a long time ago if it was just about seeing it. It's something about that anger. It's like, it's misdirected because you're mad at him for having other relationships with people and then dying suddenly like that, and you didn't have to have this baby by yourself and all that. So like Kid Fury said, a therapist would be a great option here, because I think you're dealing with a lot of feelings, and the one that's easiest for you to handle is the anger. So you just putting that anger wherever you can, but these women probably not thinking about you the same way, and I just don't want your anger to eat up at you and the happy memories that you have with this man, and also, you know, to taint the way you talk about him to your child. If the worst thing you could say about him is y'all was off and on and he had other hoes, which is not even cheating, then, you know, you're doing better than most of these other girls.
I think it's the thing that a lot of people do is like, I think a lot of it sounds like you are fighting to have like your status in his life acknowledged. Like, a lot of people be acknowledging that they're in a relationship with somebody that is dating other people or cheating on them or whatever the fuck, but it's like, let's get into the hierarchy though, because I was the main one, and yeah, he dealt with y'all girls or whatever. It's like, it doesn't matter if he saw you, you know what I'm saying, Monday through Saturday, but then somebody else on Sunday. Like, everybody else had a connection with this person, and at this point bickering for, oh, well, I'm the one, the baby, or I'm the one who actually lived with him or whatever is just pointless. But a lot of people be trying to be like beef with other ones because they're like, oh, well, I'm the one that truly mattered, honey. All of y'all mattered because all of y'all, you know, existed within this man's life at some point. So it just doesn't make any sense to be trying to worry about what place they had with him versus you or whatever the fuck. Focus on that child. And like Crystal said, focusing on like the good memories, like the happy memories and experiences that you have with him, and letting the beef go. And if that means talking to a therapist, then great.
Right. Because the way other people look at you or how they consider you in relation to his life really should not matter to you. If you were the main girlfriend and that means something to you, then hold on to that. If you were the main girlfriend and the baby mama and that matters to you, then, you know, regardless of how I might feel about that, then, you know, let that make you happy or let that bring you comfort if that's what, or the last baby mama, I don't know, or the baby mama of the only girl, whatever it is. Like, you could be dealing with this in a way that doesn't eat up at you so much, and you deserve to know peace. So I hope that you find somebody you can talk to and that you handle that, because I understand kind of, like, I can remember, obviously I don't have a baby, so not entirely can't relate, but I can remember being mad at like other girls posting about my nigga or whatever, like, how dare you, bitch? But also, you know, in the back of my mind, knowing I don't really have a reason to be mad. So
right. It's not their fault they know him. Yeah.
Good luck to you, sis, to you and that baby. All right. Last question comes from Ayana, who says, I'm 30 years old and I've been treated like an adult by my parents since I was a preteen. My parents don't have the best relationship, and unfortunately, I've been aware of this since I was about 12. They're the perfect example of people who stay together for the kids, even though everyone, including the kids, would have been better off if they separated. Relatable. I'm the oldest of 3, and since my early teens, my parents have offloaded on me instead of talking to each other. I was privy to all sorts of adult relationship problems and conflicts, things I didn't fully understand and definitely couldn't fix.
Well,
fast forward to this year, and my mother is having some problems at work. She and my father not only work in the same field, they work for the same employer. And a few months ago, okay, that's too much. And a few months ago, my father called me to say that he had been told my mother's contract would not be renewed this year.
Why?
Why would your dad tell you that? Don't know. He went on to say things like this happen and that she should use the heads up to start looking for a new job. Well, I don't live at home and came back at the beginning of this corona mess. And a week or so after, my mother brought this up with me. To my surprise and frustration, I learned that she has not yet started looking for a new job. And instead, she was complaining about how it wasn't fair and it didn't make sense for my father's contract to be renewed, but not hers, and blah, 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 etc. I'm a practical person, and I told her she needed to stop complaining about something she can't change and start working on what she can. She's already lost 3 months that she could have been using to find a new job, and now she only has another 3 before the contract ends. I offered her my laptop to use since hers is packed up, even though she could easily use my father's. But now I feel as if the problem of finding my mother a new job has become my problem. I helped her fix her CV and I'm setting up a LinkedIn account for her, but I'm also actively searching for jobs online and sending them to her because from what's happened so far, it's looked like she's resigned herself to complaining and fighting instead of fixing it. My father, on the other hand, is completely disconnected from the situation and has not offered to help in any way, which is crazy to me. For a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Am I a horrible person for feeling that this shouldn't be my problem? If my own life were on track, this wouldn't be an issue, but I'm also job hunting and have been for the past year. I've had visa issues most of my 20s, and this has really pushed me back in terms of my career, finances, etc. I feel very left behind by my peers, but I'm working at making my 30s better. I'm freelancing remotely, doing online courses, etc. Adding my mother's job search to this when there is someone way more grown and knowledgeable than I am who should be helping is draining. What would you guys do in a situation like this? Any advice you have would really be appreciated. Thanks for the podcast. Love you both. Ayana. Thanks, Ayana. That's sweet. I'm sorry for you because your parents have been putting you in an adult's place for way too long. Most of your life.
Yeah.
And it's so unfair for parents to do this to their children. And it tends to be the oldest or the oldest girl almost every time where parents just love to bring a 15-year-old into their drama. And it's just like, girl, I am a child. Like, whatever advice your 15-year-old gives you, you have to take with several grains of salt because it's coming from a 15-year-old. And this is just not my place. So,
like, what am I supposed to do, sis?
Right. I feel for you because they've been doing this most of your life. And I think you're so used to it that you just kind of got sucked into the habit of trying to fix whatever is going on with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now's the time to break that cycle and be like, girl, love y'all, but I don't have the time for this. I shouldn't have to make the time for it. And like whatever barrier stands between y'all that is preventing you from finding union in these situations, y'all need to work on. Sans the doll here.
Right.
Without me, because this shouldn't have anything to do with me. And honestly, I might need to have my own conversation with a professional about how long all of this shit has been placed upon me. So I'll do that. You girls do your own thing. Everyone has homework. Maybe we reconvene and talk about what we've learned afterwards. But yeah, no, I would find the most respectful and succinct way of removing myself from this and also establishing boundaries that say I don't need to be inserted in this stuff anymore. As much as I love y'all, it's not fair.
Right, exactly. And as far as that goes for any situation. That's like blanket advice. But as far as this one in particular, I think you just need to let your mama find out what happens when she doesn't have a job anymore in 3 months. Like, you've already done her CV. You've set up a LinkedIn for her. You're doing these job searches and all this shit. Like, girl, there's only so much you can do. If your mama is not motivated to find another job and she would rather complain about it, then she's just gonna have to complain about it. You can't make her do what she needs to do to take care of herself in this situation. And your daddy is uninterested in helping. That sounds to me like they should have been in therapy a long ass time ago working on whatever their issues are, whatever spans back to when you were 12 years old and they started dragging you into it. So you can't make either one of them act right. You're in a position where you need to be at home right now, unfortunately, which a lot of people can relate to. So it's not like you can be like, shut the fuck up and don't say shit to me ever again. Like, it's not like you can do that, obviously, but you can say, I have done all I can do. And at this point, it is my grown-ass mother's responsibility to decide that she's going to hustle and try to get another job or not. That is up to her. I cannot make her do it. That's an adult. Like, it is not your job. You're right when you say that you feel like this should not be your problem. It isn't your problem. It is actually not your problem. It's your mama's problem. You have just taken it on and you need to go ahead and put it down. You've done what you can to help, but she doesn't want it, girl. She does not want your help. So I feel for you. This is so frustrating. And I can definitely relate to a lot of what you wrote in this letter, which is why I think I'm just so adamant about, like, once you have done what you can, all you can do is stand. Let them niggas, let them figure it out. Let the chips fall where they may, and let things go from there. She is not trying to hear nothing more practical than that. So I would just have to let her learn the hard way. I'm sorry that you're in this position, though, because you're in the position of the parent when you are and always have been the child. So if you can see a therapist, even, teletherapy, something remotely, Talkspace or whatever, I would highly recommend that for you, because this is a fucked up dynamic they have you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for you to be home again like a child is probably bringing up all kind of shit. So
definitely.
Yeah. Therapy for you and, letting your mama find out, that fat meat's greasy on her damn own. She'll be back in a few months when she ain't got no job.
Right.
Like, this is real life. This is real life, girl. You either gonna hustle. They not renewing your contract. It don't matter why. It does, but it doesn't, because ultimately you're not going to have a job. So what are we going to do about that?
Right.
And let's go from there. So good luck to you, though. I know it is rough and I don't envy the position at all. And that's going to wrap up the questions for this week. If y'all have a question, send it to asktheread@gmail.com and we'll be right back.
Hey y'all, this episode is being brought to you by Bevel, a head-to-toe personal care brand built for Black men. This year, Bevel is introducing a new lineup of products built for your skin and your hair. They're introducing the Bevel Deodorant. It's an aluminium-free deodorant that goes on clear with no lines, streaks, or clumps. I've used it myself. Actually, I've been using it for like the past month or so myself, so I can attest to that. And it stays strong to fight against odor for up to 48 hours. And they've got the Bevel Bar Soap soap, a sulfate-free exfoliating bar soap that's dermatologist tested and infused with shea and cocoa butter. Lastly, the new Bevel body wash made with the freshest ingredients like argan oil, charcoal, all kinds of fun stuff that exfoliates and nourishes and renews sensitive skin. So if you're into this, get your life. Like I said, I've used pretty much every damn thing I just mentioned. And I can attest for the fact that it works and it is very clearly made for the skin I'm in. Bevel Skin is everything you need and nothing you don't. So stop what you're doing and check out this new line of Bevel products today at getbevel.com/theread. That is GETBEVEL.com/theread. It's also available at Target/Target and Target.com. And don't forget to check out Bevel's sister brand, Form Beauty, for my ladies, available at Sephora.com and formbeauty.com. Let them know that the Read sent you, and let's move on.
All right, y'all, let's talk about something very important, which is brushing our damn teeth. 75% of us use old, worn out bristles that are ineffective, and even more people forget to floss daily. Good health starts with good habits, and that's where Quip comes in because they make it super easy. They deliver all the oral care essentials you need to brush and floss better. The Quip electric toothbrush has timed sonic vibrations with 30-second pulses to guide a dentist recommended 2-minute routine, and there's even a size down version for kids. It's very important to get your kids started with brushing their teeth right early on. So when you pair it with Quip's anti-cavity toothpaste in mint or watermelon, you get all the ingredients that your teeth actually need, and none they don't. Plus, Quip has an eco-friendly, refillable floss with a dispenser that you keep for life, an expanding stream that helps to clean in between. The Quip brush head, toothpaste, and floss refills are automatically delivered on a dentist-recommended schedule of every 3 months for just $5 each, which is a friendly reminder when it's time to refresh and stay committed to your oral health. Plus, shipping is free. So go ahead and join over 3 million happy customers and practice good oral care easily and affordably with Quip, starting at just $25. I love my Quip toothbrush. It has helped me take my toothbrushing to a whole nother level. When I tell you, it just cleans out, like the teeth just feel different when you're done with it. And being able to replace the brushes on time, every time, it's just like they don't even get nasty. You know, they're not supposed to get nasty. They're not supposed to be all bristles just all over the place, splayed out everywhere. You need to be doing that a lot more often. So go ahead, check out Quip at getquip.com/theread right now to get your first refill free. Again, your first refill free at getquip.com/theread. That is GETQUIP.com/theread. Quip is the good habits company. So go pick up some good habits and let's get back to the show.
Okay, so we're back, and now it is time for the read.
It is. I don't really have one this week. I'm going to just say, ha, Diamond and Silk, you dumb bitches got fired.
Who?
Do you know who Diamond and Silk are?
Black ladies?
Yes, those coons who sold out and tap danced for Donald Trump have been doing it for years.
I didn't even believe that was. I really thought that those were some racist white people just using 2 random black women's photo from Facebook until I actually saw them photographed with them.
Yeah, no, I honestly thought the same thing initially, but Diamond and Silk are 2 real people who really lost their job. And although Fox hasn't commented on it specifically, I think all of their coronavirus is a hoax shit is what actually did it for them. They have been vocal about saying stuff like the disease has been overinflated and everybody's just doing this to undermine Trump. And one of them said, like, if that many people died in New York, where are the bodies? Like, girl, if you just turned on real news, you would know that they have these big ass trailers set up to put all the fucking bodies in, and they have to clear out all this space for these people who, a lot of them will probably never even be returned to their families. Like, you bitches just don't know what you're talking about. Twitter actually had to delete a tweet from their account because they suggested that people should leave sheltering at home and go expose themselves to the virus. So, you know, as always, Black people get fired way faster for the same shit white people do. And I just cannot, I don't have no tears or sympathy for neither one of you dumb bitches. I hope this is the last I ever hear from either one of y'all. And bye. Go to hell.
Same.
That's it.
Okay, for me, just 3 quick things. Maybe 2. We'll see how I feel. First of all, I would like to just say a couple of words, unfortunately, again, to that extremely battered cantaloupe that y'all call president.
Battered cantaloupe.
Really say it that niggas should inject Fabuloso into their bloodstream? Is that where you're getting at now? That we should just get Bleach IVs and just let the Clorox do the work that science should actually be doing, like real medical professionals and real medical support? I just don't know how we're still dealing with this. Can't there be some sort of political pause button where the girls just come together on some Hunger Games, never before seen unprecedented shit, and just say, you know what? We're not going to do this anymore. Like, there has to be something. Mama just told y'all basically to fill up a Solo cup with Pine Sol and gulp.
Yeah.
And then tried to run back and say, oh, well, that was sarcasm.
It was not, girl.
Yeah, because that's what we need in this time from our president. Sarcasm. Who the fuck you think you are? Bill Burr? You're not a comedian, bitch. And it wasn't you being sarcastic. It was you being literally dead serious because you're a fucking nutbird. And I don't understand how we're still dealing with you and your fucking turmeric face ass bullshit. And I can't wait for you to be gone. No clue when that will be, because I have no faith in this massive land. But what I will say is the day that you are gone, because it has to come someday, I hope that I'm here to laugh about it, because this is insane. All these people sending me fucking memes of me, of fucking, I don't know, 19, 20-year-old me pouring my mama's good bleach into a glass on YouTube. And I'm like, why do I see this? What is this GIF doing in my mentions over and over and over and over again? Oh, it's just people making fun of the stupid ass fucking president, alleging that we should just all have Clorox cocktails to get rid of the virus.
Yeah.
You fucking walking dumbass. That's one. 2, this is just a quick nerd thing. I've been watching all of the Resident Evil movies because who the fuck cares? I don't have anything else to do. And I don't know how to say Mila Jokovic's I don't know how to say her name, but since Fifth Element, she's been an icon to me. I hope that you're not going to now send me messages about all of the racist things she's done and how she's, I don't know, kidnapped little black girls or something terrible. I hope that she's, you know, a pristine Caucasian. But anyway, she basically carries this franchise on her back. It is an adaptation of Capcom's Resident Evil games. It's very like early 2000s, unnecessarily metal, weird stuff with more, you know, nudity and blood than it needs, even for what it is. But fine. You know, Ashanti's in one of them. Mike Epps is in 2 of them. Boris Kojo's in 2 of them. Enough to get me from point A to point B. So I knew that earlier, like maybe a year or 2 ago, I found out that Mila, however you say her last name,
Jovovich? I don't know.
Sure. She's starring in the Monster Hunter movie that's coming out soon. Another Capcom video game adaptation. And I'm not crazy about the guy who directed and wrote a lot of these Resident Evil movies. Come to find out he's doing the Monster Hunter movie as well. And I read a little blurb about what the Monster Hunter movie is about. And it basically says that a portal opens up somewhere in, I guess, our version of Earth and sucks a bunch of humans into this Monster Hunter world. And I don't understand why. It's not necessary. Okay. You could have just done T.I. is apparently in the movie. I think Megan Good is in the movie. And I'm guessing there are going to be niggas that get sucked through this portal or something like that. Why? For what? Unnecessary. Just stick to the script. Stick to the regular ass lore. Why couldn't they just be from some fantastical world where monsters exist and then you just work from there? I hate it. I think that the idea is dumb, and I'm probably going to go see the movie anyway. And I just feel like saying that. Lastly, I'm going to pass my read.
Okay.
Pass the read like we used
to Fed the Fuck Up at Home Worker. Fed the Fuck Up at Home Worker says the following. At this point, I could care if you use my name. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't. This is to all the people who have refused to learn how to use a simple video conference app, but can perform every dance on TikTok. I'm sick and tired of attending virtual meetings of people who don't understand that we can hear you. And guess what? We can see you too. If you don't learn nothing else, mute your motherfucking mic. Learn how to do that. I don't want to hear every single person in your house while I'm trying to hear a meeting. And yes, a microphone picks up all sounds. I get it. Everyone is at home right now. Zoom is way easier to use than freaking Twitter. Like seriously, if my kindergartner has been able to do school virtually and attend her lessons while using a video conference app, then you can learn how to do it too, damn it. I need you to stop doing the Tootsie Step, which that's not almost what it's called. But okay. I called it anyway. And I like that you did as well, because I'm like, assuming it really doesn't even matter whether that was intentional or not. Because if that's what you thought it was called, amazing. If you're being shady, amazing. So it doesn't even matter.
Oh my God.
I need you to stop doing the Tootsie Step and watch a YouTube video on how to use Zoom. Get over it. This is the new way of life. These kids ain't going back to school anytime soon. Learn to adapt and figure it the fuck out. And then she says nice things about us. Sincerely, Fed the Fuck Up at Home Worker. So I picked this for two reasons. A, it sounds kind of like a read I had a few weeks ago where I talked about people who you're on a phone with or on a call with who are having whole ass conversations, meetings, festivals taking place in the background of your call. Nigga, get off of my phone, get off of my Zoom, my FaceTime, whatever, until you figure out what your life is outside of here. It feels like that's what you're getting to here.
Yeah.
At the same time, my mama told us that she wanted us to download Zoom so that we could have Easter communion together. I feel like I talked about this. And the first thing I thought to myself was, I don't want to. I don't want to figure out how Zoom works. I don't want to download something else to my device. I don't want to have to go through the monotony of whatever that bullshit is. I did it anyway. I figured out how to do the basics of allowing for my mama to hear me and see me and vice versa. After that, we had our little bread. Well, they had bread because they were together. I had some leftover Takis that were left in the bed.
This nigga took communion with Takis.
I figured,
what a nigga.
Then, I did have grape juice, so we did that. And that's the last time I've used Zoom. Chris also mentioned something to us about the possibility of us using Zoom for these remote recordings. As you see, I'm not using Zoom.
No.
I don't feel like figuring out how to do that. So, I guess this is just something that the girls have to learn how to compromise on both sides. Some of you just need to use work for Zoom. My mama didn't ask me to Skype, FaceTime, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Easter. She specifically said Zoom, and she sent me the link to use to download it. So sometimes you just got to get with what you have to get with and take a little time out of your day to figure out what it is that you need to do so that everybody can get to the end, promptly, properly, copacetically, if that's a word.
All that.
Especially, again, if you have mastered the Savage Challenge, the Don't Rush Challenge, the Cool Off Challenge, if you have all of the time for TikTok, and again, TikTok is basically asking you to be Matthew Cherry. Like,
right.
I don't know if you girls have logged on, but I don't get it. Is what I'm saying.
It's so hard.
Like, they want for you to really direct, and I can't do it. I won't. So if you can and are doing that, then what Mama has written into here, it stands. Girl, you can at least learn where the fucking mute button is on Zoom so that nobody has to hear your baby burning the house down. So
it's in the same spot on every video conferencing app. The mute, you can mute it and you can turn your camera off and on in every app. Zoom is actually not difficult to figure out at all. And so, I mean, especially if you compare it to any one of them TikTok towns, it's like those are difficult. Zoom is actually not that bad. My mama, oh Lord, I joined my family's weekly Zoom prayer meeting last week. It was something else, but it was also good to see everybody. So there is that, but
that's nice.
Yeah, I completely understand trying to work and you can't because you can hear somebody's TV on Lifetime in the background. Like, girl, please. Yeah. Please.
And the mute button is often right there. Like many things you may not be able to locate, but often mute will be right in your line of sight.
Right somewhere. There, because they want you to use it. Yep.
So. Yeah, because it's important. It's important for software of that kind. So if nothing else, for the sanity of your co-workers especially. Friends who are simply throwing back some Hennessy or Jack Daniels or whatever. You should be on what house party or whatever the other one is called anyway. But if we literally have work to do, bare minimum, figure out how to mute. Because nobody wants to hear, you know what I'm saying, little Reggie in the background, you know, putting Play-Doh in his baby sister hair or whatever. Like, yeah. No. And that's it.
All right. Amen. Good luck to everybody out there trying to get work done and raise kids and all that during the quarantine. To the people whose states don't give a fuck and they reopen and everything like this shit is gone. Just God bless. Please continue to stay at home. And that wraps up this week's episode. Check us out on social media at This Is The Read. Our website is thisistheread.com. And I think that's it for me. Friend, do you have any announcements this week?
Nothing new on this end.
Believe it or not, nothing's going on.
I implore you all to be safe, stay at home, hang in there, find, you know, new hobbies. There's a wealth of stuff that you can get into. So many easy rabbit holes on YouTube alone to fall in, you know, much less my vids during Pornhub and like Pinterest or something. So just stick in there, girls. And
watch Insecure.
Believe it or not, there you go.
Log on and argue with people about Insecure.
Argue about it. There's got to be an Insecure Reddit or something like that.
Something, yep, probably.
Just any old thing, because I believe in you. I think that you will be able to make it even a few more weeks, months, even if we have to, inside, you know, unless it's an emergency. I think that, believe it or not, if we do what we need to do, you will see a brunch again. You will once again have a Bottomless, Bellini, mimosa, or sangria, tequila, margarita.
I miss it. I miss it so much. Well. I miss brunch culture.
But you know what? The liquor store downstairs is open. And I can make margaritas here. And while margaritas in fellowship is a beautiful experience, margaritas by my damn self in front of my computer, phone, dog, they're fine in the meantime. So what I'm saying is do the fucking best that you can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, you turning 30 or 21 or whatever this year, and Corona doesn't give a fuck about that. But honey, you will celebrate once again.
One day.
At some point. But not if you go out and get yourself sick or everybody that you were going to invite to your party sick. So
Yes.
There's that.
All right, guys. Take care, and we will see you next week.